Hey everybody. All right, we're going to be putting these rings on the pistons today. I'm going to do one piston. I already did the other 7. And we're going to be honing the cylinders. And I've already done them all except one. I'm not too crazy about the way they came out. I'm using, a Harbor Freight hone. And as you can see, this is after how it looks after 7 cylinders. And I read that these things, the stones pop off. So I used some of that liquid steel JB Weld, and I put it on there. I think it has helped some. I've been cleaning the cylinders, using starting fluid. And then when I hone them, I'm using a WD-40. And after I get done, when I do I'm going to use a combination of STP oil with some 30-watt oil to, put on the cylinder walls to keep them from corroding, because I'm not planning on putting in the pistons today. And so I guess we're going to get started with this. And before we start, okay, you can see where I've honed these cylinders. Like I said, I'm not real happy about the way they're looking, but that's the way it is. And I'm going down this one, and that's the one we're going to do. You can see the difference. It's not shiny, but there's supposed to be more than just shiny, and there's a lot of imperfections in this thing. And, we're going to go to the piston first, but obviously when you get doing the honing, you want to turn your crankshaft down so, that's not facing up. You want as little in the way as possible. And so let's get on over here and install these rings. Okay, I start off like this. Here's the notch, and I put this in like so, and you want that to butt up to each other. You don't want this overlapping. I'm sure you all know that. And then I get one of these rails, and you want it off to the side. And so I stick that in there like so, and then I walk this around. I'm sorry, I'm doing it wrong. You start at the top, and you get it in there, and you walk it around until it sets in. All right, and see, that's like so. Now I get the other rail, and I go to the opposite side of this. You want to go about 1.5 inches, 2 inches over, and I get it in the bottom, and then I walk it around. And I always have a little trouble with the bottom one. This time, hey, it went right in. So that's the bottom, one in. Now you go to the next groove up. And in this particular setup, they say look for, you want to use the one with the 2 pips. And you have the pips facing up. I get this thing here to open it up. And you get it in there. And you don't want to open it up any further than you have to. And you get that like so. And now I'm going to turn this around, go to the other side, and that's so I'll have my gap there. And you bring that down. Whoops. Well, I didn't want to do that. That's the first time I've done that. Okay, I did all 7 other pistons, and I didn't have that happen once. I'm glad I'm not. Look at that, twice. Okay, they say the 3rd time's the charm, and you get it in the groove, and you just close it, and it goes right in. This one you can spin around, so now you got it like that. And now I'm going to put the top one in. The top one, same deal, except you only got 1 pip. And same deal, but I spin it around so that it's on the opposite side. And we're back to the notch. And, whoops. I didn't already say it. I'm glad I'm not demonstrating putting my head in the mouth of a lion. We're going to spread that open, the pips up, facing up, and we're back to the front notch. And there you go. So this is ready, in my opinion, to go into the cylinder number 8, but we're not going to do that on this video. Okay, we're going to hone this cylinder. As I said, I already did the others. I'm going to put this rag in here, and then I'm going to give it a squirt, the cylinder squirt with WD-40. They're saying you want to do about 20 up and downs. They say start at the bottom of the cylinder, and you don't want to go down too low because you'll be smashing your stones. But here we go. Let's hope I do it right.
And that's what we didn't want to do.
That was on about the 17th stroke, and I'm going to have her pause it, and then we're going to take a look at it. All right, I'm going to give it a few more strokes. Now, they're saying you should start at the bottom of the cylinder, and you don't want this thing adjusted too tight. And along with that not too tight thing, they say once you get down there, then you adjust it. This thing's so lousy and cheap piece of equipment that I can't actually get in there and adjust it too well. I don't know, it seems pretty tight to me right now. I'm struggling to turn that thing. Maybe it's just because I'm so old, but we're going to give it a little go here. But I figure it's about done. And I know I shouldn't have done that, but that's a wrap. This is like the 5th time in my life that I've done this. And that's over a course of about 50 years. The last time I actually honed the cylinder, was, I'm going to say about 10 years ago. And so, you know, I'm not proficient at it. The whole purpose of this video is to show you that if this thing actually ends up, if I get it to run and it runs pretty good, that a person that has very little experience by just watching YouTube and reading and using Harbor Freight stuff, you know, I'm doing everything low end, can get an engine to run and work, not to go to the drag strip in, but a drive around the planet in an enduro race, but you know, the home hobbyist. And then the other thing is this, I'm creating a playlist, and it's called, I think it's called like Refreshing a Pontiac 1959 Pontiac 389. There's over 40 videos on it right now. A lot of those uploads I did are not mine. I did other people. I just uploaded 21, I'll call them videos, of a man who's rebuilding a small block, a Chevy small block. It's GM. It's not the same as the Pontiac 389, but you know, it's the same principles, and I like his procedures. So check that out, and there's other stuff in there. And by the time I'm done, I think anybody that wants to rebuild an engine, you know, a V8 or a 6-cylinder, whatever, a standard, you know, one of these type engines, that playlist I'll have will be pretty good. You can watch somebody like me doing it really, you know, half-ass, and you can watch people doing it that really know what they're doing, and then you can choose your own way. Okay, I just want to talk about the mistakes I made. I know I overhoned it, but this is what I did wrong. I had it, that hone tool, whatever you want to call it, set way too tight. You know, I had so it was springing out too much tension, and it wasn't until I got to the last cylinder, which is the one you actually saw me doing, that I had loosened it up some, and it came out so much better than the previous 7. So I went and took the other 7 and I went over all of them again with about 7 strokes per cylinder. That one still got that line up there, but huge improvement. So what I'm saying is this: yeah, I probably overhoned it, and it was a bit of a questionable block without reboring to begin with, but we're going to see what happens when it's all together and start it up. Okay, the hone. This is after doing 8 cylinders, and that one got broke up pretty bad, and that one's got some pretty good chips in it too and big cracks, but I made it. I didn't have to go run down there and buy another one, and I did not want to do that. Okay, bottom line, start with the hone in the bottom. Don't have it over tightened, and if you can, find some junk block you can practice on. And unless you do this every day, I promise you, you're gonna have that thing popping out on you like it did as you saw. Okay, for honing and putting the, not the rings, but for honing it, I was using this manual as a reference. It's the Martin W. Stokel Auto Service and Repair. It's a copyright 1978. It's what they would have probably used in a shop class like in high school back in the day then. Hopefully you can read this, you can pause it and check it out. It's talking about honing the cylinders. And let me sometimes a book can be better than listening to somebody. Notice that hone has, that's a really good hone. That's got 4 fingers, nice big wide stones, not that Harbor Freight thing. I've used one like that in the past and it was nice. They're saying that's what you're going for, but they actually saying here you don't have to be right on. But that's like the best. There might be a little bit more over here. These are the piston rings I used. New old stock, got it off of eBay. Here's the instructions that came with those rings. Thanks a lot for watching.